Greetings all. In this video I'm going to show you how to do your first exam. So you'll find the exam at the very bottom of our page here on Blackboard. Scroll down past all the weeks and you'll see exams and dialogue projects. Click in there. This, by the way, is where your dialogue project assignment will be when that comes. Exam 1. 4 things you'll see. The assignment details. This is where all the questions are. Some examples for Phase 1, where you'll submit Phase 1, and where you'll submit Phase 2. The exam does have multiple phases to it with separate due dates. Let's look at the assignment itself. Here's the exam. You'll see here are 3 phases. The due dates are listed. So let's talk about Phase 1 first. Phase 1 asks you to select some quotes from the readings. Which ones? Well, to see that, let's scroll down to page 2. Here's page 2 with the questions themselves. So you'll see there are 4 sections. Each section, you're going to pick one of these 4 questions. By the way, section 4 only has 1 question, so you're going to pick that one. Start by picking 1 question per section. Then, for Phase 1, let's scroll back up. It says to pick 3 to 5 quotes of 1 to 2 sentences from the relevant reading. That's all you got to do for Phase 1, is tell me what quotes you are going to use when you write essays for Phase 2, answering the questions. So, Phase 1, quotes. Phase 2, actually answer the questions. So, for example, if you pick question number 1 for section 1, you're going to go to the reading by Unger that I gave you. It's on Blackboard and that we have gone through, and you've watched videos and you've read it and you've taken quizzes on it and you've taken notes and submitted that. Go to the Unger reading. Pick 3 to 5 sentences from that reading that you say are going to be very, very helpful to you when you write your essay to answer this question. That's all you got to do for the first part of the exam for Phase 1. What quotes will you want to use when you actually write the exam? Submit those quotes. I'll show you an example here in a second. Submit those quotes for Phase 1. For Phase 2, I will have graded those quotes and said, yes, those are good, or no, some of these aren't, and pick some new ones. Use the quotes to write your essays. This is what the instructions are for that. Explain everything in your own words. So use the quote, but don't let the quote speak for itself. Show me that you understand the quote. By the way, for Phase 2, your essay will not just be using a quote and then explaining it. You need to use the quotes to help answer the question, but write the whole thing. Write an essay. You'll notice there are multiple parts to the question. Write the whole thing. Use the quotes where it's helpful. For the quotes that you have selected from the assigned readings, all you have to do is put them in quotation marks. You do not need to cite them. I know where you got them from. I literally gave them to you. I know what page they're from. Now, that said, if you look at any source that I did not give you, if you look up anything on the internet, you go find any book, any article, any website, anything, and that source in any way helps you write your essay, you must cite that source. If you do not, you are taking credit for someone else's words, or even if you rephrase it, you're taking credit for someone else's idea and saying, I understood this on my own. No, you didn't. Cite it. If you cite it, there is no penalty. You are allowed to use your notes, your readings, and anything else you want. You just have to tell me that you used it. That's all. So long as you cite a source I didn't give you, then there is no penalty. If, however, you do not cite it, that is plagiarism. It's a form of academic misconduct and will result in an automatic 0 for the assignment and a report to the dean. Please don't do that. There is no penalty for citing. There's a huge penalty for not citing. So cite it if you looked at something. That's all you got to do. Lastly, as a note, you are not allowed to use any AI such as ChatGPT, Bard, or anything else in any way to write this exam. If it's doing anything other than helping you put in a comma or fix a grammatical mistake, then it is changing your writing and it will be detected, and that is also a form of academic misconduct, meaning an automatic 0 for the exam and a note to the dean in your permanent file. Please don't do that. This is not an exam asking, can you use AI? This is an exam asking to show that you can express complicated ideas in your own words, such that someone else who has not read this material would understand it. In fact, keep that in mind as your goal. Your goal in answering each of the 4 questions that you have selected is to explain everything so thoroughly, so well, that someone from campus that is not in this class, they could understand the material. Teach it to them. Explain it to the point that it is ridiculous that you are still explaining things. If there's a term that I taught you or that you read about that's not something you would use in daily discourse, explain it. That's the level of clarity that you are to strive for. No one wins when they play the game of how few words can I write. No one wins that game when they play it for the exam. There is no minimum word count that you are striving for. Explain everything so well that you, again, can get another student to understand it who hasn't taken the class. If you've done that, then you've written enough. If they couldn't understand it, then you haven't written enough. Now let's look at the examples for phase 1. Again, that's right here. This is all you would need to do. You'll see here I picked 4 questions. This is all you got to do. Say, phase 1, question 1, question 4, question 6, and question 7. Whatever questions you pick. Then give me 3 to 5 sentences for each question. That's it. That's all phase 1 has to be. And again, you'll submit that right here. Start attempt, drag your file in, and hit submit. That's all you got to do. If you have any questions, please do let me know. I'm here to help. Have a great day, everybody.